So the Guitar Academy started in 2007. I've been teaching guitar for private lessons for about 7 or 8 years before that, and I decided I wanted to try to group up people to play together and I guess try to make more of a class out of it instead of individual lessons. And then when that happened, then they started to want to play songs together and share music and treat each other almost like a small band, and it ended up being, I guess, a good way for people to have a longer class instead of just a half-hour course, and then also be a part of something as opposed to just going to some guy's house to learn how to play some guitar chords.
Hey, Josh.
I had a neighbor who played the guitar, and I found it really interesting, and he let me play it one time, and it really interested me, and I wanted to learn how to play it, and I found the Guitar Academy. I took piano for about 4 years, because my mom had me do that before I chose any instrument, and I got a guitar for my 7th birthday. I was 7 when I got my first guitar, but I didn't know how to play it. And I got in private lessons for a while, and then my teacher said he couldn't teach me anything else, and so we were looking at different stuff, and we found Guitar Academy, so that's what.
Well, I took piano for maybe 2 years. Then I really wanted to take guitar, and my mom was trying to find a very good, system of teaching. But then we were just going into stores to get some music, and on the bulletin board we saw the Guitar Academy thing with the black dude trying to play silver.
I got my first guitar in 7th grade. Didn't really play it too much until the summer after 7th grade, where I didn't really have a whole lot to do except for play guitar. So that's really when I got into it. And that's about the time my dad signed me up for the Guitar Academy. And I was in the beginner class at first, and then after a quarter of the beginner class, which is 3 months of lessons, my guitar teacher, Sid, put me in the adult class with some other older kids, and I was in that class for a little while, and then after the Guitar Academy, switched locations from Stansbury Park to Tooele. That's about the time Sid asked me if I wanted to start teaching. So he gave me a class to start out with, and I taught that class for a little while, and then he gave me a couple more beginner classes, and I taught them. And recently Sid's decided that his day job was getting a little bit too demanding to keep on teaching at night. So he kind of handed the Guitar Academy over to me, and so now I'm teaching the students he had, and it's pretty cool.
I don't really have a favorite right now, but right now we're working on Best of You by Foo Fighters. I don't know. I had a lot. I liked. It was fun. The Christmas concert. I liked doing the Joy to the World. That one was pretty fun. And some of the other ones I'm trying to think now. And I like that Christmas Canon Rock one. That was pretty fun too. And then the one we did where we made it up along, I think it was my first concert. That one was pretty fun too. So between those three, I don't know.
One of them would have to be the Everlong, and a lot of the Foo Fighter songs, because my dad really likes those. And a few of the John.
now we've had, I lost count, but we've in the hundreds of students, 300 or 400 students I think was my last estimate. And 3 to 4 times a year we've put on concerts. They've been able to perform at least one time a year. It was a big concert that we had, an outdoor venue, had other bands come and play with them. Our first concert we had 3 performers at. Our last concert I think we had about 33 performers at. So the growth was good. It was a good part, I think, of a small community out here in Stansbury Park. Okay, so from the Guitar Academy we had advanced students. We kind of would break down each quarter, so after every 11 classes, 12 classes, we'd have a concert, and then we'd regroup for another quarter and decide who best fits with who and which classes seemed to work the best where students were at. And there kind of became an advanced group of students, the kids that took it, I guess, the most serious and really made it part of what they did in life. And those students formed a band called TIE, which consisted of Hunter Casey on guitar, Bryce Rousseau on bass, and then a neighbor of mine, Ian Memmott, on drums. And it was fun because when it first started out, they were playing, I think, Seven Nation Army to death. They had about 2 or 3 songs. Hunter got real active with writing music with Bryce's help, and they started to write most of their own tunes. And it got to be where they only would play 1 or 2 covers because they were popular, but if they needed to, they could fill a whole set, or 2 whole sets, with all their own music that they'd written. And the other cool thing about that was the relationship between TIE and the Guitar Academies. They functioned as their own band outright, but it also served as a good kind of a milestone that other students would try to achieve, to be able to organize and get together and put together a band that could perform at other venues like they did. And they also put a lot of effort into hosting their own backyard concerts, doing things with the school at parks. So it's good to see, I guess, young people get that organized about a band, as opposed to just saying that you're in a band and rehearsing once a week in your dad's basement. They actually got out and played quite a few shows and developed kind of a little bit of a following base. And yeah, it's good to see. Good to see people get organized and actually progress and do something with the music they write instead of just letting it sit in a notebook somewhere.